You're watching a BR Proud presentation, a candid conversation on race relations.
We're back now with the story of Fair Wayne Bryan. He is a Louisiana man with a unique perspective on what justice is and what it means. Bryan was sentenced to life at Angola for a 1997 conviction after a failed attempt to steal a set of hedge clippers. The crime wouldn't normally carry a life sentence, but Bryan was convicted under Louisiana's habitual offender law. It's a law that Louisiana Supreme Court Chief Justice Bernette Johnson has called a, quote, modern manifestation of black codes and pig laws that, after the 13th Amendment, were largely designed to re-enslave African Americans by introducing extreme sentences for petty theft associated with poverty. Bryan served 24 years of that life sentence before being granted to parole less than 2 weeks ago. He joins us now alongside Andrew Hundley of the Louisiana Parole Project, which played a big role in the process. I want to thank you both for being here. What would you say about Louisiana's habitual offender law that sentenced you to life in prison in 1997?
The laws needs to be reconstructed under the habitual offender laws, especially. As Justice Johnson said, they were pig laws, but still they use them on who they want to use them on. The law applies to certain peoples, and certain people it doesn't, and that's harsh. That's really harsh.
And we should note that prior to that 1997 conviction that ultimately handed Fair that life sentence, he did have 4 prior convictions, including attempted armed robbery, attempted forgery, simple burglary, and the illegal possession of stolen things. Andrew, I want to turn to you. This is not about condoning any type of criminal behavior, but what does Fair's case illustrate about Louisiana's habitual offender laws and its impact on black and brown people?
Well, Fair's case is a reminder that extreme sentencing doesn't benefit society. So it's really easy to tell that, there is some sort of systematic racism that exists in our sentencing structure that end up meaning all of these black people are sent to prison and forgotten about.
Obviously, Andrew, you have a pretty unique experience to all of this, having gone through this yourself. I'm interested the process that you went through, as a young white man, and what you see in terms of differences with the black prisoners that you're working to do the same, go through the same process that you went through.
Well, definitely, I recognize that I have and had and continue to have a lot of privilege. One, I committed a much more serious crime than Fair and spent less time in prison than he did. When I was released, I had a lot of family support. I had a network in the community that was willing to support me and to make my transition easier. And it's not that I wanted it more than, let's say, Fair Wayne or other people. It's just I had privilege. I had a lot of things going for me, and that's the idea behind Louisiana Parole Project. We want people who have rehabilitated themselves, changed their lives while they're incarcerated, to have the opportunity to be successful when we go home.
Chief Justice Johnson had also said that the 23 years at the time that Bryan served cost Louisiana taxpayers more than $518,000. Equal justice advocates would say that's a lot of money that could go into rehabilitation efforts. Do you agree with the fact that there is a lot of money spent on incarceration rather than rehabilitation? And I want to ask, what role do you think that access to resources for mental health, behavioral health, social services plays in making sure that people with problems that need to be addressed don't actually recidivate?
Well, it would actually be a great help due to the fact that you have evaluation of a person's mental state, their physical state, and you be able to have whole conversations with them to see exactly where they're at in life.
Fair Wayne Bryan, I appreciate you for taking some time to talk with us this afternoon. I want to thank Andrew Hundley with the Louisiana Parole Project as well.